guys, it's Toshiba here again with the Joyful Warrior, and this is the last piece, or should I say the first piece of curriculum I ordered, and it's the last to come in this week. So I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing. Obviously we're using Beautiful Feet for history and literature this year, and I'm determined to make this work. We did try Sunlight last year, and I won't go into more detail about that anymore after today. And so we're using them for early American history. I will have 3rd and 4th graders using this, and we're also using the junior level of 4th to 7th grade for geography. So as I was saying, if you're interested in seeing or learning a little bit more about what Beautiful Feet offers in their early elementary American package, stay tuned. So first, this is, and it's a really thin curriculum guide, and I'll just give you a little peek inside. I'll insert some videos throughout to show you what all comes inside of it. But anyway, this is early American history. It's beautifully bound. It shows all the other curricula they have available through Beautiful Feet. I think they're out of California because they also have the history of California, which I wish they had the history of Texas. Anyway, this is what it looks like. This is for kinder through 3rd grade. This is a literature approach, and so this is what the guide looks like. Little flip through. I purchased the entire package, and so I got all the books included so that I didn't have to hunt for them in the library, because you guys know that I'm using Beowulf Grammar through Guest Hollow, and theirs isn't packaged this way, so I have to search the library for those. I've already done that. So anyway, and here are some additional resources that you may gather. I think I got this book actually, and this is lesson 1. And so they'll tell you what to do: introduce and discuss belief and unique purpose, and then you'll read Life the Lucky, and then discuss. They have the discussion questions here and the superstitions or whatever it's going to be talked about. And at the bottom it says, history is his story, the story of God's dealings and purposes in mankind. I'm also using, I'll do another video on that African American history program right alongside this one. So this one will be done 3 days a week, and the other one will be done 2 days a week, to kind of counterbalance some of the flaws that may be, or the non-truths, or the not 100% truths that are listed in some of the Anglo-Saxon history. So this is what it looks like all the way through. It's very simple instructions, which I really can appreciate. Some of my hangups with Sunlight was that there was just so much information for me, and it wasn't exactly open and go unless you were familiar with it, and we weren't. I thought it was literally open and go, kind of like The Good and the Beautiful, kind of like Beautiful Feet, and it wasn't exactly open and go. You had to kind of prep a little bit, and I wasn't prepared for that because I came from using Abeka. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what the guide looks like. Another cool thing that they have here is, I'll insert a video after, I already recorded it, but they also have little links that you can go to. And the reason I'm showing this one is because this is one that's actually on the sample page of Beautiful Feet, and you'll see a little video included in there. And there's also 4 CDs that come, and these are kind of, I'll insert a video so that you can see what's on here. They're kind of like audio dramatizations of what's happening. I'm not sure how my kids are going to feel about this because they don't love audiobooks, and I'm slowly letting them grow to love them. So
I think the world is round.
The world round? Oh, Christopher.
Yes, I think the world is round, like a ball.
Christopher Columbus, you're not going to tell anyone about this wild idea of yours, are you?
Hello, everyone.
We want to welcome every one of you to another Your Story Hour.
And today we have a very special story by Aunt Sue.
I call the story
Beyond the Horizon.
It is springtime of 1471. The sun is hot, scorching the road.
what's included in the package is Jean Fritz, George Washington's Breakfast, A More Perfect Union. I should have gave you a little flip through if you haven't seen Oh, this is beautiful. I have actually just opened the box and I had not looked inside other than the curriculum guide. So, wow, it's a really nice book. I actually bought another book at the Dollar Tree the other day that went along with American history. Go back if you want to see inside of George Washington's Breakfast. I feel like my eldest has read this book before when he was in school. And I think we read this one too. Meet Abraham Lincoln. I feel like we saw this one at the library. It reminds me of the Who Was books, but definitely lower level where my kids could read this themselves. This is probably our third copy of this. I meant not to order this one, but I got so excited that I was ordering on Monday, and then I just ordered, which is great because then when we read this one aloud, then they could follow along. My daughter has probably read some of this one, and my son has read this one too. The Matchlock Gun, Pilgrim Stories, just a chapter book, not a lot of illustrations. Marguerite Henry, Benjamin West and his cat, Grimalkin? I don't know how to pronounce everything, Avi. We also have this book. This may be the third copy of this book, but I don't think we ever read it. It came with the Sunlight Passage Squanto. Updated copy of that. The Year of the Horseless Carriage, 1801. And my kids have done a little introduction to American history through Rebecca, so they're not completely unaware of what we'll be going over, but they didn't have a lot of living books that went with it or historical fiction of any sort. So trying to broaden their understanding. They know quite a bit about Jamestown. And then the Pilgrims of Plymouth. And they had this one at our library. I remember looking up some of those when I thought I might piece it together. And then, of course, you'll know I don't like to do all the gathering. And I just love books. I have a problem. Partly Erica's fault at the Busy Bees and Me. Between her and Jane at the Salty Tribe, I buy all the things. Anyway, this is the Dolaire books that everyone raves about. So now we get to see firsthand what they're like. And I already can tell I like the girth and the sturdiness of the pages. I like the illustrations. Now I see why everybody loves these. I had seen one at the homeschool store one day and I picked it up, but I had all 5 of my kids and there was a playroom and you can just figure out what happened next. We had to go. So I didn't get, this is the one actually we looked at. And this one's pretty thick actually. So you only read a few pages out of here a day. The pages, oh man, super thick weight paper. And my children could read these books on their own, but and the way that I'm sneaking in reading this year, we're going to be using Reading Horizons for my dyslexic son and for my other 2 sons who aren't as excited to read as my eldest and my youngest. But I'm going to allow them to read chapter by chapter because if you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you would see that Legacy Kids had gifted us with a subscription box for a month and we read George Washington Carver together, and I just never seen my children jump on to reading the way that all of them were so excited to read that. So I'm sneaking in reading by allowing them to read to each other, and then they don't feel like it's actually work. This is the George Washington one, same Dolaire author. And I got these during the 25% off sale that they had when they were like $10 or something each. Any way to save a little bit is right up our alley. So the illustrations are beautiful. Really thick book. I love that the words are large. Sometimes if you have dyslexics, you know, like just the font size can sometimes be a deterrent in reading certain types of materials, and it's no different for us here. My son, my eldest, will probably read all these books by himself because he doesn't always like to wait on us. And all of them are pretty thick. Let me check. I think this one was 45. Yeah, this one was 45 pages long. This one's written in like sepia tone. This one's Benjamin Franklin. It's just really nice. My kids are really going to probably enjoy this. They do like when I read to them. It just depends on the length of the book. Anyway, I'm super excited. And this one is Pocahontas. I think I've seen this one too at the library. Just never really have time to sit down with it. So when I'm done with the video, I'm going to be all over this. We're also doing, side note, you know, squirrel, Dave Ramsey's Junior, I don't know what it's called, but it's right here. Financial Peace, and I read every single one of those books. They were so good. They were quick reads, but we're using that this year for a business elective. Here is the Christopher Columbus book. This is the only one that I ever heard anything a tad bit negative about, like the story being shoe shined. I heard that term over on the Gathered Nests page when she was talking about history, and it's a great term to describe what history has been boiled down to. And so I think this was another one of those books that's kind of shoe shined. Anything about Columbus usually in modern Anglo-Saxon history is not necessarily what I've heard from or read from Native American people who see the story completely different. So Life the Lucky, I know this is pronounced either Leaf or Life, but I read, of course, nerd here, in a documentary, I heard them saying life, and when we watched How to Train Your Dragon, I was like, it's probably accented. I won't give you my accent of how I would describe the way the Norsemen talked, but we'll go with Life the Lucky. Yeah, I'm excited to read this book. I heard a lot of good things about this one in particular. That's just a little look through. So those are all the books that came with the Early American History guide. And next I'm going to quickly go through these because I don't want to make two separate videos. We're using geography and we're doing it through literature, and this is for intermediate grades, as you can see. So 4th through 7th, and I'm going to have a third and fourth graders, and my 6th grader will be doing this with us. The guide is beautiful. It's really thin, very independent, self-guided, just like the other one. It gives the explanation of why the literature approach is beneficial. And these are mostly Newbery Awards. My sister said she remembers Men in the Mississippi, and now that I'm looking at it, I think I've read both of these too as a young child. How to use the guide. And there are maps included, and so I have 3 sets of maps, and the maps are, I'm just not going to take them out because, as you can see inside of this like map cylinder here, it looks like an architecture thing. They're really stuffed in there, so I'm not going to take those out until the very first day that we use them, because my littles will color them up, or my eldest will get a hold of them and make them beautiful, but we won't be following the plan. So they have a key here, and we're learning about geography of the United States through literature, and the books aren't very long. Here's what the guide looks like. I won't go through all the pages, but like you can see here, we'll read chapters 7 through 10 in Paddle to the Sea, and then study how sawmills work. There's a diagram. I don't know where the diagram is. In chapter 7 of that book. And then research characteristics of a marsh. And I'm from a place that has a lot of marshland in Port Arthur, Texas, so I'll be able to make them reference what they see when we drive in town. And chapter 10, have the student narrate how paddle pushed out of the marsh and back into Lake Superior. So this will go over not only geography of where the states are, and I need to really go through this extensively, you know, do my thing to determine if we need to like add this, like make it a little bit more meaty. This is only I'll go to the end. There aren't many lessons in here, so this isn't meant to be done. For us, we're going to do it throughout the year. We're not going to use it in one semester, but just to give you an idea, there are only, I'm sorry, I meant to go. How many lessons? I can't be right. On to the table of contents. I didn't see one. Nope, it's not here. So I'll have to figure it out. Here, we have some time. There's 10 lessons in the first book. Men in the Mississippi, and then in Tree in the Trail, there's 10 in there, 10 in that one. Okay, the first one wasn't Men in the Mississippi. Here we go. 10 in this one. So there's 10 lessons in all. I don't know why I didn't know that. Oh, there's 9 in this one. So there's almost 40 lessons. So that wouldn't be necessarily 40 days. What we're going to do, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to break it up over the time, split these things up. We're going to be doing geography 2 days a week. So probably one day we will do the reading, of course, and then look on the map to where it is, and then the next day we'll do the coloring of the map and then the notebooking that's associated with this to make it a little bit more meaty. And we'll probably do 2 lessons a week, if not 1 a week, if it lasts that long. If this isn't enough, because my 4th graders really need to learn the geography, because this is what they do in most public schools and also in a Becca curriculum. In 4th grade, you learn a lot about geography. We're doing states and capitals this year. I'm not sure if we're going to add the presidents in. That might be too much for them, but I know that my 3rd graders are doing it with them, and this will be their first real introduction to history. They've had a very, very delicate one with the Becca readers, but nothing to the extent of this. Anyway, here are the books. This is a Caldecott Award-winning book, and it's really beautiful. I already looked at this book online, and I just couldn't wait to get it. Like, come on, this is really pretty. It makes me wish I knew how to do watercolor. I'm not that kind of girl. I'm trying to learn, gosh, but I cannot find a really good art curriculum that will teach my kids how to paint and watercolor like these pictures. But anyway, this one's Paddle to the Sea. So pretty. The next one is Trail in the Tree. So pretty. I love these illustrations. So I think I'm more excited about school than they are. We did a little preview today of what school's going to be like. I mean, we got through Bible like seamlessly, and science, because they really love Bible and they really love science, but everything else was like not a wash. Those are the only new things we did. When we got to like their regular scheduled program, they weren't excited. And these are all by Holly and Clancy. Okay. I never had any books by this person, but that's weird the way it's written. Seabird. And I've seen quite a few reviews on YouTube of this. That's why I'm doing a little bit of flip through, just to give you an idea if you're interested, because this just spoke to me whenever I was looking for a new history program for during the end of last school year. And lastly is Men of the Mississippi. I think this is one I heard that was a little boring, but I'm not gonna think about that. And that's it. So those are all of the books that are included in the geography. Another thing I did that was, of course, very indicative of my personality, I ordered, because this is grade 1, I didn't consider grade 1, I just ordered 5 notebooks, but I'm gonna send them back. I'm gonna contact them probably tomorrow and see if I could send these back for 5 of 4th grade or anything other than 1st grade, because these lines are ridiculously too large and I got 5 of them. So that's all that's included. Please, if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below or give me some ideas of what you're using for geography. This is definitely what we're using. We're not turning back. I'm not going to give up this year like we did last year with sunlight, but we're going to continue to go along with this until we conquer. I was thinking about adding in, I don't know if whoever has used this, of adding Simply Charlotte Mason's you know, they have their geography program where they trace through, and I was thinking about using that for the United States. They have it for North America, but I'll probably just focus on just North America. I'm sorry, just the United States, not Canada and Mexico. But if you guys have used that coupled with this just to get some more multi-sensory things going on, let me know down in the comments. Thanks a lot. Have a blessed day. Bye.